Hi, this is Snow White with my Bigfoot Diary, Part 23. This covers April 2017. April 2nd. Yesterday I'd put out 2 new wrenches that I bought for the Bigfoot. They were the largest and smallest ones from a set that I bought. Today I went for a walk in the backwoods. I got back there at around 3:30 p.m. and got home at around 4:30. We decided to have a fire that night. We went out to get it started at 8:09 p.m. and I noticed that the wrenches were gone and that they'd left me a gift. So between 4:30 and 8:09, they came up and did this. They took the 2 wrenches, and they left me this gift in the food basket. It was a Y stick that they had picked over at the edge of the yard. I believe it was from a pokeberry bush, an old one. And they put it in the basket above these potted plants, old ones that I'd left, and they knocked the one over when they put the Y stick up in the basket. And this is what it looked like when I took it inside. April 8th. Today my husband mowed for the first time this year. He found broken branches over at the lilac bush. I have a feeling that they hide there to watch the house sometimes. I found a broken branch 5 feet up in that bush before, and then I found some strange hair between there and my husband's car, which is parked about 3 to 4 feet from the bush. So this is the broken branch. I think they were marking a spot, which I made a video of this later, of lookout spots around the yard. My husband also trimmed the trees in the yard, and one of them that needed trimmed was the pine tree and the limb that had the arch on it that the Bigfoot made. I had him cut it off and save it for me. I laid it on the railing until I could figure out what to do with it. This was at 1:29 p.m. This was when I also noticed that the 2 good fingerprints on the door window had a smear right through the center of them. I was very upset, but my husband hadn't been out that door, and I had been very careful when I went in and out. So we were wondering if the Bigfoot came into the garage sometime today while we'd been leaving the doors open by going in and out. It had been fine the night before because I checked. We think that they may have seen me making a big deal over the handprint by taking so many pictures of it at night with flash, when they could have easily observed me doing this. I find it hard to believe that someone accidentally, someone being me, took their finger and smeared exactly where the 2 good fingerprints were. However, it seems that at the first opportune moment, the Bigfoot may have, and the new finger swipe through the older fingerprints left new thick residue, just like the first ones did originally. So I took these pictures to show the smear and to also show where I put the branch on the railing. So that the pictures are showing the smear in the middle of the window. I had gone inside and took a nap during the afternoon, and when I got up and went back out to the porch, I found the branch had been knocked or moved off the railing. So that's how I found it. Also, I looked over at the railing where we gift and noticed that the magnetic bowl wasn't there where I'd left it. I walked around to the woodpile, and there it was, upside down. Okay, my husband trimmed trees today, and one of the ones that needed trimmed was this, which is an arch that the Bigfoot's made, so I had him save it for me. Now, earlier I put it here, and then I went inside and I took a nap, and I came out and it was laying, let's see, that part of the branch was still up by the railing, but the rest was all down here. So they came up and messed with that. And also, right here I had a magnetic bowl with some stuff in it, metal things. And they took it from here. It was right there. And they took it over here where I put this glass cube. They put it upside down. So I don't know what that means. But the first time that I put the bowl, the magnetic bowl out here, I brought it out. I left it overnight, had some stuff in it, and I came out the next morning and it was upside down. They had put it upside down, so see what tonight brings with that glass cube. April 9th. I had put a little flower arrangement out on the railing at 12:50 p.m. Later, when I checked the porch at 4:13, the one flower was on the ground beside the porch. It was kind of windy, so I chalked it up to that. There's how it was at 12:50. And then that's the flower that was out on the ground. So I put it back. That's how I left it. I also noticed that the food basket was moved way down to the end of the spouting that it was hanging on. It had never done this before in the last 9 months, but I also chalked it up to the wind, even though I was having doubts about that being the reason for it moving. When I moved it back to its proper position, it was really hard to move, so I don't see how it blew there on its own. April 10th. When I checked the porch at 11:07 a.m., I found that the button was on the ground, the little monkey was moved a little, and that two of the flowers from the flower arrangement were not in the vase. I looked for them on the ground and found one of them. It was the other one that hadn't been out of the vase yesterday. So I looked around for the other one that had been out yesterday, and I found it in a very odd place. It was directly behind the man doll. I can't see how it fell there from the wind blowing it. It would take some pretty odd circumstances to have it fall that far, and in that position, and so perfectly. It looked placed there to me. What is odd is that my husband had been trimming branches off of trees 2 days ago, and this looks like a branch in proportion to the size of the doll. So here is how it would have had to have fallen, which almost seems impossible to me. And that's how I found it. So like I said, it looks like a tree branch when you compare it to the size of the man doll. That was the other flower, and that's the button that were laying on the ground. April 12th. Yesterday I'd moved the little monkey over to the board on the woodpile. This morning it was gone. I looked everywhere for it and couldn't find it. So that's the little monkey on the top, and it was gone. In addition to that, we had a fire and left chairs by the fire pit the night before, so I had rearranged them into a pretty straight line around the pit. This morning, they were all moved rather drastically, more than I think the wind would have done. The wind has blown them before, and they were only upended or tipped forward into the pit. Today, one was clear over on the other side of the pit, and the other two were intertwined in a way that looked like they had to be placed like that. Also, there was a stick that I left out there that I poked the fire with, and it was in the two chairs. So, seems like those got arranged to me. April 13th. Yesterday I found the food basket on the ground. I set it up and put the strings inside the basket. This morning I found it moved over about 3 or 4 feet and upside down. So it had been over by those flowers. April 14th. This was a work day for me. I of course checked everything before I left, and there was nothing that happened overnight. I returned home from work and checked things at 12:52 p.m. I was extremely surprised at what I found. I put a banana in the basket last night, and today I found it over on the board at the woodpile. So there's where I put it last night, and here's where I found it. Not only did they move the banana over to the gifting board, but they put something in the basket. Here's the video that I did showing it. Okay, I just got home from work. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I checked all this before I left, so this is what I mean when I say that my Bigfoots are funny. Because I put a banana up in that basket. And they had taken that wrench about a week ago. I forget the exact date. But they took the banana out of the basket, put the wrench in there, and brought the banana over here to another gifting spot and put it on this board. They are hysterical. Oh my God. So, yeah, the banana was up in the basket, and they took it out of there, put it over here, and put the wrench in there as a return. They are so funny. I have to say, too, that they have never, well, they did mess with the basket a few times, but they've never returned anything in the basket. But lately, that basket has been moving from where it is now to the very end of the spouting. And we thought maybe it was the wind, but when you try to pull it, it's hard to move it. But it's gone down there like, I don't know, at least three times. And then well, actually we found it one morning right here in these flowers and stuff right there on the ground. So I picked it up, I put the string inside of it, and it sat there for like a day or two. Then the next morning I came out and it was laying over here. Upside down with the string out. So, and it wasn't even windy. So I think they might be having a fascination with this basket right now. Oh, it seems like they do that. They get into these spells where they like certain things, or they get focused on something, and they'll mess with that for a while. Surprised they didn't take the banana. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there are fingerprints on it, all over it actually. I don't know if this is going to pick it up. I'm going to get my macro lens out and I'm going to take some pictures. That's a good one right there. I don't know. There, that might show it better. Yeah. See that? It's a fingerprint. April 15th. Today turned out to be a crazy day. Here is how it started. Last night, it was dark, and, well, pretty much almost all the way dark. and I wanted to bring out an apple and a banana and put in the basket. So I opened this door, and immediately when I opened the door, I heard something run really fast into the weeds and stuff over at the side yard. And this morning, see, I put the fruit in the basket, and then this morning I found this. It looks like a footprint or something stepped and kicked up the leaves. But I mean, this is the exact area where I heard something big run really fast into the... So, yeah, this is just the spot too where I heard it. So, I think they go in there all the time anyway. Hide. But I wanted to record this. There's definitely something stepped there. And it would have been going in the direction of walking into the bushes at the side of the yard. I'm going to measure it. Let's see. I had to go in and get a different tape measure. The one I had wouldn't lock, so. Okay. If you go to here, it's only 8 inches, but I think it's all the way back here is the heel. So that would make it about 13.5 inches, yep. Well, okay, 12. I'm not sure because it's leaves here. But right here, it looks like maybe something pushed down as it stepped. So if that's the end of the footprint, it would be 13.5. And I'm trying to get this to pick up. I mean, that looks like the shape of the toes right there. Whoops, sorry. Looks like the shape of the toes here. So that's pretty cool. I guess they were out here already when I opened the door. It had just gotten dark. I think I must have startled them because I don't usually go out there at that time of night. I think I came very close to seeing one just then. Then later in the day, today, this is what happened. Okay, my husband just got done mowing and we came out to look at the yard because it looks really pretty. And I walked over here because I always look at stuff. And I saw this on the gifting board at the wood pile. That is a hose that was in my husband's, or on top of my husband's toolbox in the garage. Okay, I was just out here at 8:45 and took pictures of everything. I kind of rearranged a few things, put that little car out and stuff. But at 8:45 I took my last picture. And I went back inside and I've been working on a video. My husband went to town, got gas, came back. It's started mowing, and he left all the garage doors open, all 3 of them. So he was mowing probably for an hour, hour and a half, something like that. And he's been done for a little bit and inside the house. But during that time, they brought that hose back and put it there. I can't believe they had it. I think they probably took it, oh, I don't know. It could have been any time within the last couple weeks. There was one day that the doors were open for a little bit, so I think they might have taken it then. But yeah, they never cease to amaze me. It's crazy. So they were up here during a span of, well, it's 11:45 right now, so within 3 hours, broad daylight. And my husband was out here mowing, unless they came up and did this while we were both inside after he was done mowing. They brought it. So that's something. So I'm going to have to, I can't keep it because it's my husband, so I'm going to have to give it back to him. But I wanted to record this first. I just put this back. This is where he keeps it. So, yep, they were in here and took it at some point. There's that. Garage door's over there. There's another door off to the side. And then this is the door with the handprint. I've left it open accidentally a few times. Okay, this is a broken tool I just found that my husband said I could use as a gift. So I'm going to put it out here. I think I'll put it over here where they put that hose. So we'll see if they want it. Okay, I just took a nap for 2 hours because I was getting a migraine, so I had to lay down. But it's now 20 after 5 or thereabouts, and so I wanted to lay down at 3. I came out to check the porch, and I found this. The button, this blue button, was here before I went to sleep. It was here. Now it's directly in front of this piece of glass and turned over. It was here, and it was turned the other upside down. Actually, it's upside down now, but it was here right side up. So they did that while I was sleeping, I think. The dice also moved a little bit, but I'm not sure that was them. Could be. They're not moved enough that I can make a call on that, but that ball was here too, but I moved that before to keep it from rolling off. So, but there's no way that happened from anything other than something picking it up, turning it over, and moving it. And it's directly in line with that piece of glass. So they probably did that just to say, hey, yeah, I was here. So, again, broad daylight. Don't know where, I don't know if they're hiding down in there. There's not that much. I mean, I suppose maybe they just come up quick and do it and go back way down in the woods. There's also a grove of locust trees. right over here that get pretty thick. But right now, I don't know, I think they probably just come up, do it, and go back down to the deep woods. I don't think they're hiding in there. Although when it gets filled out and all green, I think they do. Or go in there at night because you can't see. So okay, so at 12:55 I put that ratchet there and it's gone. It is now 7:55. So sometime in the last few hours they came and took that ratchet. We were inside eating supper and stuff, so it's been a very active day, that's for sure. Just wanted to show how pretty this is. That tree's in bloom, the pink buds, this beautiful sunset. It's been a great day. I think I'll walk up here. I don't know if you can hear all those bees, but they sure do love this tree. April 23rd. Today we went to get groceries. We unloaded the car and my husband thought that he closed the garage door. I went in and took a long nap. When I woke up and checked the porch, nothing happened out there, but the large garage door was wide open. That's when we noticed that the bottom drawer on the toolbox was open. My husband's little crowbar was down off the wall where it had been hanging, and there was a socket attachment that had been on top of the toolbox, which was now down on the bench. So they were in the garage again. We don't know what they took. I also found a handprint or a smear in the dirt on the dresser that is sitting in there. I just woke up from a nap, and it was almost 3 hours, and we came home from getting groceries, and we thought, well, my husband thought he shut the garage door, but apparently he didn't. So it's been open all this time. And so the first thing we did was come over. Well, the first thing I did was check outside. Nothing happened, but I think that's because they were in here messing around. Okay, my husband's going to explain what probably went on here. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not going to explain what probably went on.
Well,
the bottom drawer of my toolbox is open. I have no idea what's missing.
Yes.
There's a baby crowbar that I had hanging on a nail on the wall.
Show
it's
where
down.
It was up there.
Was hanging there.
Okay.
It's now here.
Okay.
There's also a 3/8 extension
And that
laying on the bench, and that was
up here.
In here.
So this is open. The pliers that are in there actually belong in this drawer, right?
Yes.
So we don't know if they moved them, brought them back, or what.
I do know this was closed, and I know that was hanging on that nail. And I know that extension was right there.
Okay.
What's missing? I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I got that down. Okay, well, I guess time will tell. Look at that. I can't say for sure that was them. I don't know why I would have put my hand there. And if I would have, it would have been see if I was walking this way, why would I suppose it could have been mine. Doesn't seem to be matching up. That doesn't match up to my hand. That just might be a Sasquatch. Smear fingerprint thing in the dust. The ends seem to have that thick residue stuff. Look here, babe. There's a smear. If you stand back here, you can
I
see
see
it
it.
goes all the way. And see, if I was walking this way, see, your hand's way too big, isn't it?
I don't know.
Try not to touch it. But I was trying to match my hand up to it, and it doesn't fit. And if I was coming from this direction, it would be the other hand. So that's the right hand.
Right.
And it doesn't look like your hand would match up with that either, does it?
I don't know.
Would you have touched that for any reason?
I don't recall touching it, but I'm not going to say that I didn't.
I know, but if you look right here, there's thick looking residue at the tips.
There's fingerprints back here too.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But there again, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that either. That could have been us. But this intrigues me.
Is there dust in it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, what I mean is, could it have been made today, or is there dust in it that it's old?
it looks pretty fresh to me. Come and look at it.
I'm looking at it.
I mean, look at it closely. I mean, it's streaked, so, except for the tips. Have thick residue on the ends.
I don't know.
Like something in a hurry came through, you know, or something. I wonder if back door, I think it, was this unlocked?
I do not know. I didn't think I left the door open. How am I
I
know
was
if that's
thinking
unlocked?
when I came out here to check the, I was thinking when I came out here to check the porch, this was unlocked. Unless it was that door. Now I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't know if I left. I didn't know that I left the main door open, let alone to know if that's was unlocked.
I'm not seeing any new prints on it. That. See, I have no idea why I would touch that there, especially with my right hand. I always come through here. You know, if I was gonna even go here, mean, I can't be 100% sure that's not my hand, but I don't think so. I think I will take some close-up pictures of it. Because the ends, the tips of that is making me think it's got that thick residue on it. That the finger tips on the door had. Because I can almost guarantee that if I try to make a, let's try it. Okay, those are ones I just made, and there's nothing on that end, the tips, even in thick dirt. Nothing. That has to be what that is. See, that's the possible Sasquatch one. There's the ones where I was trying to make something comparable. So it just so happens, but I don't know if I've shown this, but this just happens to be on the way to the toolbox. Right through here. I don't know why they wouldn't have come that way. Have to excuse this horrible messy garage. It needs cleaned out bad. Maybe they came in this way. I don't know. I think there'd be footprints, but if they came in this way, and left that way, because I know they must have left that way before because of that handprint up on the door. I don't know if you can see it. It's still there. Right there. That little line is the middle of the hand. I think. Yeah. So if they were left that way, and they were in a big old hurry getting out of here, put their hand here, hopped up over this, and out the door, thinking that might be what happened. Okay. After my husband hung that little crowbar back up, and I looked up here, it doesn't surprise me at all that that caught their eye because it looks like an arch. I'm surprised they didn't take it. Huh. Yeah, it looks like those arches they make out of, trees and branches and stuff. In fact, it looks so much like that one that they made on the pine tree. I don't know if I can, I've got it outside. I don't know if I can show it because this is growing. And I wanted to keep it, so I put it out here, but see that? I guess it's a little more arched, so it was a little flatter right there. April 26th. We are leaving for vacation this evening. We will be gone for 9 days. Nothing had happened for the last few days, but at 8:06 a.m. I found one of the wrenches that they had taken back on April 2nd. They had returned it to the railing and put it on the magnetic bowl. This was this small wrench that they had taken. So April was shortened because of us leaving for vacation, but I hope you enjoyed this diary entry.